You ever wake up to a morning so quiet you can hear the ocean breathing, only to have it shattered by a bunch of suits acting like they own your life? That's how my first week in my new house kicked off. A Cliffside beauty I'd scraped every penny to buy, only to have the HOA storm my dock at dawn, demanding I pack up and get out. Picture me, Jack Sullivan, knee-deep in fish guts, hauling a net of cod off my beat-up boat. The salty dawn, when I hear heels clicking on my dock like gunshots, and this voice sharp enough to cut glass tells me I'm a squatter who doesn't belong. I turn around, net still dripping, and there's Vivian Caldwell, Queen Bee of the Crescent Cove Homeowners Association, looking like she just stepped out of a boardroom and onto my property. She's got this leather folder clutched like a shield, her nails tapping it like she's counting down to my execution, and behind her, 6 other HOA-type suits, so crisp they probably creak when they move. "You're trespassing on a community landmark," she says, her nose wrinkling at my salt-stained jeans. "This estate belongs to Crescent Cove, not some fisherman." The way she says fisherman makes it sound like I'm scraping barnacles off her yacht. I wipe my hands, squinting against the sunrise glinting off my $10 million house glass walls, steel beams, perched on a cliff like it's daring gravity to try something. "Ma'am," I say, keeping it cool. "I bought this place fair and square 3 weeks ago. Moved in last weekend." The laugh that comes out of her is pure venom, like I just told her I won the lottery with a dollar bill. "You own the Whitaker estate? This is a $10 million property, and you're telling me you, with that rust bucket boat, paid cash for it." Her posse snickers, one of them filming me on her phone like I'm about to go viral for all the wrong reasons. I don't flinch. Believe what you want, but I've got the deed, county stamped, in my safe. Unless you've got a court order, you're the ones trespassing. The air gets real quiet, just the waves slapping the dock and the gulls overhead. Vivian's eyes narrow as she pulls out a document, waving it like a royal decree. "This," she says, "is a heritage designation from the late Arthur Whitaker, promising this estate to the community trust after his death 6 months ago." I glance at it and see paper, fancy words, but something's off. "Arthur never signed that," I say, low and steady. Her smile twists. "And how would you know what Arthur did?" Here's the thing. I knew Arthur Whitaker better than most. 3 years back, I was just a maritime surveyor, mapping shipwrecks for insurance companies, when Arthur hired me for a side gig. He was this grizzled old sailor, obsessed with a lost Spanish ship, the Nuestra Esperanza, sunk off the California coast in 1638 with a hold full of gold. He had his great-grandfather's journal, cryptic coordinates, and all, and we spent 18 months chasing that ghost. When we found her 40 miles out in a deep trench, the salvage rights netted us $50 million, split down the middle. Arthur didn't just give me money, gave me his trust, his stories, his warnings about vultures like Vivian Caldwell, who'd been circling his estate for years, using the HOA to bully anyone who didn't fit her vision of Crescent Cove standards. Arthur was my friend, I tell her, watching her face tighten. He never mentioned any community trust. Funny how this paper shows up now, 6 months after he drowned in that so-called accident. Her posse shifts, uneasy, but Vivian's unfazed. "You're delusional," she snaps. "The police are on their way. We'll see how your story holds up." Sure enough, 2 cops show up, led by Sergeant Maya Torres, who looks like she's seen every flavor of nonsense. I hand her my deed, notarized and clean. She scans it, nods. Looks legit. County seal, filing numbers, all check out. Turning to Vivian, she says, "Ma'am, unless you've got something legal to back this up, you're on private property." Vivian's face goes beet red, but she doesn't back down. "This isn't over, Mr. Sullivan," she hisses, storming off with her crew, their luxury SUVs peeling out like they're fleeing a crime scene. Sergeant Torres lingers, slipping me her card. Watch yourself, she says. Vivian's got pull around here, city council, developers, you name it. She doesn't lose gracefully. I nod, but my gut's telling me this is just the opening shot. That afternoon, I dig into Arthur's study, hunting for the safe he'd mentioned in an email one he'd set to send me if he didn't check in weekly. If you're reading this, Jack, Vivian got me. Evidence is in the safe. Combo's the date we found the Esperanza. Don't let her take the house. I punch in September 14th, 20, and the safe clicks open. Inside, it's a gold mine of dirt. Photos of Arthur's boat, hull tampered with before his accident. Bank records showing Vivian funneling cash to a guy named Victor Hayes. A contract for a luxury resort on 4 Cliffside lots, including Arthur's, signed before he died. My blood runs cold. This isn't just HOA bullying, it's murder. Next morning, I'm barely awake when I hear engines, not cars, boats. 3 sleek vessels pull up, Crescent Cove Marina Authority painted on their sides. A guy in a too-clean inspector's uniform, Carl Vance, steps onto my dock, flashing a badge that looks like it came from a costume shop. Mr. Sullivan, your boat's in violation, illegal mooring, unsafe condition, you name it. Fines start at $5,000 a day. I pull out my phone, already recording. Funny, Carl. No such thing as a Crescent Cove Marina Authority. Private docks don't answer to you. Also, nice scar on your forehead matches the guy in Vivian's family Christmas photos, her sister's husband. His face drains white, and when I mention calling Sergeant Torres, he bolts back to his boat faster than a spooked fish. By noon, Vivian's back, this time with a mob 20 neighbors on my lawn, her megaphone blaring. Jack Sullivan's turning this estate into a fish market, ruining your property values, she shouts. I step out, phone still recording. Ruining values? Like when you bankrupted the Millers over their kid's tricycle in the driveway. Or hounded the Limbs until they sold their house for pennies because their curry offended you. The crowd murmurs, some nodding, others looking guilty. A woman steps forward. Elena Vasquez, retired DEA agent, lives 2 doors down. Is that true, Vivian? Did you lie about the Limbs moving for a job? Vivian stammers, but I press harder. I've got Arthur's files, every fine, every threat, plus a contract for a resort you planned before he died. The crowd fractures, whispers turning to arguments. Elena's voice cuts through. Vivian, you've blocked my requests for HOA financials for years. What are you hiding? Vivian's losing them, and she knows it. She storms off, yelling, "You'll regret this, Sullivan." But Elena stays, her eyes sharp. Those files, can I see them? I nod. They're going online tonight. Everyone deserves to know. That evening, I post everything Arthur's evidence, the sabotage photos, the resort deal. Crescent Cove blows up online, neighbors sharing their own stories of Vivian's reign of terror. But I'm not done. Arthur's files mention Victor Hayes, a fixer with a rap sheet tied to 3 other accidental deaths in coastal towns. I track his yacht, the King's Gambit, to international waters, where he's meeting Vivian tomorrow night, thinking they're untouchable. My boat, the Salty Dawn, looks like a junker, but below decks, she's a beast sonar, laser mics, drones disguised as seabirds. Elena joins me, her old DEA contacts on speed dial. We sail out under cover of fog, my gear picking up every word from Victor's yacht. Sullivan's a problem, Vivian says. He's got Arthur's files. Victor's voice is gravelly. Then we handle him like Whitaker House fire, faulty wiring, easy. My heart stops. My house, Arthur's legacy, is in danger. Elena's already calling the Coast Guard, but I know we're 10 miles out, too far for backup. I gun the Salty Dawn's real engines, 250 horsepower, military-grade Holland. We hit 28 knots, slicing through the fog. My phone pings, motion sensors at my house, glass breaking in the study. Victor's goons are already there. I call Tommy Ruiz, an old Marine buddy who owes me for finding his dad's lost boat. Tommy, my house arsonists. Get your crew there now. He's there in 6 minutes, his security team ex-Marines. All business-sketching 2 guys dousing my floors with gasoline. Elena's got her old service pistol out, and I'm not far behind, my own training kicking in. We take them down clean, Tommy's team securing the place as sirens wail in the distance. The Coast Guard boards Victor's yacht, catching him with drugs and forged documents. Vivian's arrested at her mansion, her perfect hair a mess, screaming about her rights as cameras roll. The files I posted unravel a decade-long scheme. Victor and Vivian targeting coastal properties, killing owners, flipping land for millions. Arthur was just one of 7. Crescent Cove rebuilds Elena's elected HOA president, voids Vivian's fines, invites back families like the Limps and Millers. My cover's blown everyone knows I'm ex-Marine intel. Not just a fisherman, but I keep the salty dawn docked, gleaming now, no more fake rust. Months later, at a beach memorial for Arthur, the community gathers, kids playing, families laughing, no trace of Vivian's resort plans. I tell them about Arthur, how he split that $50 million because he believed in fairness, how he died protecting this place. Elena speaks too, her voice steady, promising a new Crescent Cove. Later, Carl Vance shows up, head down, handing me a check for the fake fines. Keep it, I say. Donate it to the victims' fund. He nods, broken but trying to make amends. Vivian's doing 20 years for conspiracy. Victor got life. But here's the kicker. Arthur's files hinted at other HOAs, other victors, still out there, preying on communities. I'm back on the water now, chasing leads for law enforcement, my boat's tech humming under the stars. So, tell me what's the craziest thing your HOA or neighbors ever pulled. Drop in the comments, let me know where you're from, and let's talk about what justice really means when the powerful think they're untouchable. Hit that like button if you're sick of bullies running the show, and subscribe because trust me, there's more where this came from.